Man from Toronto is the brand new Netflix original film. It stars Kevin Hart, Woody Harrelson, Jasmine Matthews, and Kaylee Cuoco. It is directed by Patrick Hughes, who just came off directing both The Hitman's Bodyguard, The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard, and The Expendables 3. The film is about the world's deadliest assassin, played by Woody Harrelson, and New York's biggest screw up, played by Kevin Hart, are mistaken for each other in an Airbnb rental. The film is an hour and 15 minutes long and is PG-13. Welcome back to a brand new movie review here at Max Talk. We're talking The Man from Toronto. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, ring the bell. If you're new, I do these types of movie reviews, TV show reviews, movie rankings, and every Monday I do a box office breakdown show. So please subscribe and ring that bell to notified when those videos drop. Comment down below. Let me know, first of all, if you've seen this film. Tell me, did you like it? Is this one of the run-of-the-mill Netflix films? Is this one of your favorite Netflix action films? Let me know in the comment section down below. Did you even know it was coming out? Let me know as well. Like the video, guys, the thumbs up button. It really helps the algorithm out so more people can watch these videos. So let's get into The Man from Toronto. Now, this movie absolutely came out of nowhere, especially with the star power like Kevin Hart and Woody Harrelson. Netflix literally did like no promotion for this movie and it kind of just plopped on Friday. That already makes me nervous because these are two bankable actors, especially for Netflix. It comes from Patrick Hughes, who just came off the two Hitman's Bodyguard movies, which I think are fine. Those, again, these actually, you can kind of compare this movie and Hitman's Bodyguard. The one difference, obviously, is that the Hitman's Bodyguard movies are all very much rated R, and a lot of the comedy is very raunchy, curse words, stuff like that. This is obviously PG-13, so it's different type of banter, but this movie relies on Kevin Hart and Woody Harrelson. Now, that's it. I'll go my positives, my negatives, and then my score. So they are very good, and I do actually, I'm definitely a huge fan of Woody Harrelson, and this is a definitely different type of role for him. He's playing this dark, pretty evil assassin who then starts, come around as the movie goes on. But the first scene, it feels like a different movie because Woody Harrelson's, it's an interesting dynamic because Woody Harrelson's just feels like a different performance than he usually does. So it's actually a nice couple. The first act was kind of nice to see Woody Harrelson doing something different. He definitely goes back to doing the Woody Harrelson isms as he runs into Kevin Hart and as they have to team up for a particular task in the movie. But I actually like that the Man from Toronto actually felt like a really cool, threatening character. He had a backstory that was really interesting. He had qualities about himself, what he does, what he says that are very much distinctive to him, which made the character very threatening in the very early parts of the movie. Kevin Hart, who I actually am probably more a fan of than most people, but if you're not a fan of Kevin Hart, this is definitely one of the most stereotypical Kevin Hart performances where you've seen him, you've seen this character, and you've seen this performance in a billion other Kevin Hart films. But him and Harrelson have very good chemistry together. Jasmine Matthews is also very good, and Kaylee Cuoco in a very minor role. She's also very solid in the film. There's also one kind of big action scene that I actually had a ton of fun with towards the third act of the movie. Don't want to describe anything that happens, but it was definitely the most fun aspect of the movie. And I was kind of like, where was this throughout the entire runtime? The film is definitely funny at times, and I wasn't sitting here watching this film saying this is the worst movie of the year, hating myself or hating the movie. It's definitely not for me, but I do feel like that a lot of people might have a lot of fun with The Man from Toronto. But again, I'm a big fan of both these lead actors. They're definitely watchable on screen, and seeing Harrelson in kind of a different role than usual in these type of movies was kind of a breath of fresh air to the film. But let's get into some of the negatives. And as I said, while I wasn't hate watching this movie, I could definitely tell that this is clearly a bad movie and not a good movie. So while this plot, once you kind of get into the plot on why Harrelson needs Kevin Hart to be helping him out on this mission, and once Kevin Hart's character runs into some pretty top tier criminals, it just, the logic kind of gets thrown out the window. There are 90% of the characters in this film are straight up just morons. The fact that the whole point of the movie is that no one has actually seen The Man from Toronto in person before. So he's kind of using Kevin Hart as a stand-in. And based on how Kevin Hart's acting and everything like that, it just doesn't seem like that these people are so dumb to think that Kevin Hart's character is actually the Man from Toronto. It's just straight away from logic so quickly. As this, other than what just one kind of fun action scene, there just isn't a lot of fun action scenes. There's a plane sequence that has awful CGI. I feel like every single explosion in this film seems like a video game like explosion that was going on. I felt like there was so much green screen at certain points. It kind of took me out of the movie. The wife also, Laurie, played by Jasmine Matthews, feels like a total moron throughout this entire film. Kevin Hart, the whole point was that for her, Kevin Hart's character and Jasmine Matthews' character, their husband and wife, to go on this cabin for her birthday. And it gets stretched from going to the cabin to going to DC to doing this, to doing this. And she kind of just accepts it throughout the entire movie. And she just never stops and thinks that something must be going on if this keeps happening, especially with the job that Kevin Hart does and does not have. It's just, there's so much logic and credibility that this movie just doesn't follow that it just pulls you out of the movie. I think the movie had smarter people in it. I mean, not actors, characters. There would be a lot more tension because a lot of these people are just so dumb. It kind of kills a lot of the movie. As this is if everyone talks about the stereotypical Kevin Hart performance, I feel like this is going to be pointed at as one of them. This is the same character you've seen in a billion movies. And I found like when Kevin Hart tried the humor, it felt so forced. I think his humor when he was bantering with Harrelson was good, but when he's outside of talking to Woody Harrelson, I found his humor to be really bland. And the movie just wasn't funny for me. I maybe laughed 1 or 2 times or chuckled, 1 or 2 times, but I just wasn't laughing as much as I should have. I laughed a lot more in the Hitman's Bodyguard films, and I don't even love those movies. I think they're fine movies, but at least I get a fun chuckle out of those films. I didn't really get to laugh that much in this movie. The villains just aren't that interesting. They kind of this movie is very rushed, and the actual idea of what's going on and why they need to get to this location, they literally is 30 seconds of explanation on what the actual mission is. So kind of takes away, again, the tension of the movie, and also the cops. Not just the wife can be a moron at times, the villains are morons, but the cops are just idiots the entire movie. And I'm so tired of these movies in every type of action film treating the cops like they're absolute morons. So overall, while I had a fun time with the 2 lead actors and 1 memorable action scene, this film for me just didn't come all the way together. It had idiotic characters, logic kind of thrown out the window, not funny enough for me, and not enough fun action scenes. So I'm going to give The Man from Toronto, which is streaming exclusively on Netflix, a 2 out of 5 stars, 38% from The Man from Toronto. Not for me. I know a lot of people might have fun with this movie. That's my review of The Man from Toronto. Like the video, subscribe, ring the bell. My other videos coming down the line, reviews of Miss Marvel episode 4, Minions: The Rise of Gru, and another box office breakdown show on Monday. So I'll be back and I'll see you guys soon.